not going to work with this guy, Frankie.
I believe there's a higher power working for people because it was impossible for me to get that job as an actor. They're making an offer to Ben Foster to play Tommy Hayes. They had Kevin Bacon. I knew I belonged in that show. And Chuck McLean made sure that I got that audition. Chuck had me do the audition on tape. He sent it to Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, and then they called Showtime. So the reason I wanted to be on that show was it was a dream of mine to be on a television show in the city of Boston. Never did I think it would be Chuck McLean that wrote it. I mean, I first met him 10 years earlier. I was his mentor. His dream was to work with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. That was his dream. And I mean, I knew he was going to hit that, but to write a show that gets picked up by a network, Showtime, and we did a pilot, and they greenlit it. So I knew I was getting through season 1. You know, I believed they were going to kill me off, but I went on to season 2. And I knew in season 2, in this one episode, if I could perform in that episode, then I could have a movie career. Because it was a good enough scene that if I could make something of it, maybe I could use it to show other directors and actors or what have you. But I shot it, and the night that it aired, I got a call from Craig Chapman, who produced Werewolves, and he said, "I've got the perfect part in a movie for you." I said, "What's that?" And he's like, "It's perfect. I'm going to send it to you." So at the time, it was a different title. I read the movie, Cody Walker, Wolf Killer. That's me. And for the rest of eternity, I will be Cody Walker, Wolf Killer. I was born to play that role. And it happened. And Craig Chapman made that happen. They wanted me to be in incredible shape because they wanted that character to be ferocious, so they got me a physical trainer, which is Johnny Alves, Johnny Drama. And I went to Plymouth. I worked out with him for 3 months, and it was brutal. But I got in shape, and I was ready to play that character when I showed up. Ow! 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 My whole life I was called the Wolf. I got dubbed it by Herb Barrett Sr. He called me the Wolf when I was a little kid, and all the kids in the neighborhood called me the Wolf. And then Michael Winnick, who I grew up with, only calls me Wolf. So it's funny that I would be in that movie, that I would go through hell to be in that movie. And then I ended up being a producer on that movie, because I'm sure there will come a day where that movie will be recognized as a great creature picture. When I first got to this set, Puerto Rico, it's a state in the Union, but it's a continental state, and you are outside the country and you're on an island, and it's different. It's nice. It's the people are really nice. You know, we're playing in the movie. This is the second year after the first full moon had come close to the planet. Everyone had turned into werewolves, so everyone knows it's coming. And the locations they had were brilliant. The days that I shot, I mean, it was actually raining. They grabbed those shots in between the rain. You know, Frank Grillo had a big job on that movie. He had a lot of action sequences. And the day that I had shown up, there was a huge rainstorm the night before, and they were shooting late. So when I had gotten there, they immediately brought me to set. I met with the director. Frank walked me through the scene, and he said that, you know, Frank's going to show up, and there's a couple line changes he wants to make, and we're going to rehearse it, and we're just going to go. And Frank showed up. I wear bifocals normally, and I have glasses on. And he had pointed to them, and I saw them because I had my glasses on. Well, then I gave my glasses to an assistant, and then the assistant was gone. And I had to ask him to remind me of those lines again. And there's nothing worse in the world than being like the actor in a line with the star, and you're asking the star to tell you your lines of dialogue, right? So he had told me the lines, and so I said, "Hey, do you mind rehearsing that with me?" He goes, "You want me to help you?" I go, "Yeah, I do. You changed my lines. You got to help me learn them, man." So then he worked with me, and then we went off, and then director said, "Action." And I was that guy, and he was that guy. And we were those guys. We both were perfectly cast because we were a couple of werewolves and we were ready to go at it.